Hey gang, Hammersill here. Um, for those of you who play the game with me, other fellow ICOPs, uh, this is attempt number 6 at getting this video put together. Real life has interrupted and conspired to keep me distracted really for the last month. So if you hear an edge to my voice recently, that's why. Anyhow, you can see here I'm playing Yueyang. This is a mixed tier game with 10s, 9s, and a few 8s. I'm in the tier 10 Yueyang, which is a gearing variant with deep water torpedoes, which cannot hit destroyers. They are otherwise fantastic torpedoes, and I did take the module to speed them up by 5%. They are very stealthy and they hit reasonably hard. There are 3 enemy radar cruisers in this game: Stalingrad, Seattle, and Alaska. If the enemy team knows what they're about, they will probably have one at each cap. It is not uncommon, though, to see 2 radar cruisers covering C. Sometimes one will go wide, sometimes one will sit center behind the island, more or less due north of my current position here. And then one to kind of cover between A and B. It remains to be seen what's going to happen here, but
Attention, support
those are not uncommon ways that this plays out. Now, I am pushing up toward the cap. Ordinarily, with this many radar cruisers, I would be pretty cautious, and in fact, I am still going to be pretty cautious. But I do have a Harugama with me, so if we get into it with either of the enemy gearings, or Shima or Hollande, I've got plenty of firepower backing me up.
Protect that target.
Yueyang has decent firepower, roughly equivalent to gearing, and definitely better than Shima, although Shima has fantastic alpha, the reload, and the turn rate of the guns and all that great. But with Harugama, I'm pretty confident. Now, what I expect to happen here is as soon as the cap starts to turn green, Harugama is probably going to get radared. Now, he is headed for that gap, so he might take some damage, but I think he'll probably be okay. The question is there going to be a ship going around the wide side on the 9 line? But it looks like our Brindisi is headed outside, so he might have some help if he goes that way. I'm going to move into the cap here to help him. Now, yeah, he lost about 20% of his hit points there, roughly 5,000. I'm going to head into the cap. I expect, since he was radared, I'll probably get into the radar zone here. But I want to try and help speed up the cap.
Torpedoes to starboard.
And I am covered by radar. I'm not sure if it's Stalingrad or if there's somebody else up here. Yeah, there is a cruiser behind that island there, so I'm not sure which currently has me radar. Okay, so radar number 1 goes down. I expect we'll probably see another one. I'm going to throw torps out there kind of preemptively. Yeah, there's the other. So they're chaining their radars. I helped secure the cap, and now I'm just going to beat feet out of here before that cruiser gets his guns trained on me again. I know those shells are coming, and there they are. And I'm just going to work my way behind this island. I'm not too worried about fire from Stalingrad. I mean, it could happen, but he's got Harugama right there in his face. Also Brindisi, and it looks like our Alsace is moving out that way. And we've got Lenin here with me, who can shoot through that gap if Stalingrad keeps pushing. See if I can get a couple shells on the Hollande. And I'm going to reposition with 2 radar cruisers there. I'm not going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot as long as both of them are alive. Now, Stalingrad, he's outgunned. You know, between Harugama, Brindisi, and Alsace moving that way, plus Lenin, who's about to get him as he continues forward. I can sit here, I can spot torps through this gap, because we've got Salem coming and Baltimore as well. Bismarck is also heading this way, although it remains to be seen how far he's willing to go. We've got an early cap lead, but we lose our Harugama to the Stalingrad. We lose our Benson to one of the enemy gearings. And despite a cap advantage, Stalingrad goes down, Monarch goes down. Despite the cap advantage, this is still very early in the game and could go either way. And you can see the little green dot above the Musashi. If you don't have the Wargaming approved mod state,
Torpedoes,
which you can
astern.
pick up on the World of Warships forums, I really recommend it. That little green light tells me Musashi is moving forward. And I'm just sitting here for the next 16 seconds waiting on my torps to reload.
Deactivated.
But he's slowing down. You see it's yellow? Yellow is essentially neutral. That means not reversing or moving forward. And my guess is he's going to throw it in reverse. He's probably not real keen on the position that he has right now. And because I expect him to move in reverse, I'm going to put torps behind his current location. And I'm going to relocate. Our Bismarck is here at the Bravo Cap pretty much alone.
Good show.
There are 2 Gearings here.
Requesting fire.
I don't know whether I can help save our Bismarck, but I definitely want to support him if I can, so I'm going to move that way. And there is an enemy Gearing. He's on the other side of those rocks. Our Bismarck had him spotted. I don't want to push up here because you can see that there's Amalfi in Alaska. Both of those ships can just shred a destroyer. Those SAP shells are just, oof, man, they hurt. I do manage to land 3 torpedoes on Musashi. He repairs. I did get a flooding, but he repaired. I'm just not in a position to be able to follow that up with spamming HE. Get a shot off on the Gearing here and then immediately go dark. But our Bismarck, he's trapped. He's got a Gearing on either side, torpedoes coming. There's just not a whole lot I can do to help. Because that Gearing is smoked and nobody else can see me, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at him, maybe a couple more, we'll just see how this goes.
Concentrate fire on the
Our Bismarck just he just got
team has taken the lead.
caught in a really bad position there. See if I can't beat up this Gearing a little bit. He's still basically full health.
Smoke generator started.
Because our Montana's got him spotted, I'll just see if I can't farm some damage here. Bismarck goes down, and then I lose my eyes. So I'm going to have to leave this smoke. We've got almost, well, we've got a 95
Engine
point lead.
boost activated.
But this is still anybody's game, and you can see they've got a big ship advantage. We've got 6, they've got 8. So I really need to help turn the tide here. He's about 10,000, I'm about 20,000. So if we trade evenly, he'll be gone, and I'll still have about 10,000 hit points. He's going to try and get behind the island here, but I think, yeah, he did not quite make the turn. So he's going to be able to get some shells on me. And we are trading fairly evenly so far. His engines are out. I've lost a gun, but I'm going to go ahead and fix that so we can finish him off. And that should do it for him. He's got some help from Seattle, but even with that help, pretty much what I expected. We traded pretty evenly overall. He's gone. I'm still here with about 10,000 hit points. And now our lead is, well, if we're using ballpark figures, about double what their score is. So we're in a pretty good position score-wise, but they still have a 1-ship advantage. We've got 2 caps to their 1.
Torpedoes, direct front.
I'm asking Montana to come this way to help cover this side. He's been sitting back quite a bit. I'm really hoping to see him push up, especially now, because one of the Gearings is gone and the other's badly damaged. We'll see how that goes. Their Musashi is just about dead. That would be big help to get rid of him. But Seattle's pushing up, and we lose our Brindisi. So we're down to 5 ships. They've still got 7 ships. And I'm just throwing these out here on a wing and a prayer. I'm hoping Seattle's going to cross and maybe try to run through that gap. If he pushes toward me, I can use the island to cover, but, you know, he'd have me spotted and everybody'd know right where I was. I mean, it's not that he doesn't now, because I'm shooting him behind the island. But. So I'm just hoping that, you know, he'll just run right into that gap and try to turn out. And those could be dual purpose torpedoes, because we've got both that ship and the Musashi up there. Oh, these floaty shells, look at that. 10 seconds for my shells to get all the way across there. Do manage to tag Seattle, put him out of the game with a couple torpedoes. Musashi manages to, well, he just, looks like he just reversed out of that area. We are still down a ship, although we have a big points lead, a little over 300 points. We still have 2 caps to 1. I'm pretty banged up. Our gearing is pretty banged up. Our Montana, Lennon, and Salem are all in good shape. Bismarck has his guns looking the other direction. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get a fire. I'm surprised the secondaries haven't opened up. Maybe he's manual secondary build. There we go. Here they come. So I'm going to... Let's see if he maintains... Yeah.
Smoke generator started.
He went into the smoke, but I did smoke up just as a precaution. There's a fire. Looks to me like he's turning my direction. The secondaries are now working the other side, and I'm going to throw torps out here preemptively, hoping that he's just going to push this way. You know, he might have it in mind to run right at me.
Engine boost activated.
Try and spot me in my smoke.
Smoke screen set.
Yeah, there he is. Looks like I'm gonna tag him right on the nose. That's gonna probably finish him. Yep, down he goes.
Enemy battleship sunk.
It looks like their gearing, the enemy gearing, was probably headed this way, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this way as well. Looking at the last known position markers, I expect Alaska might be moving to B. Musashi might still be covering B. Musashi's probably just trying to avoid our Lenin. Now, our Lenin has taken some damage. And our Salem is pretty beat up. Now our Salem wants me to get in this cap. That's risky. I'm a little hesitant to push in too hard here because I don't want to get caught by radar. And I haven't seen the Shima in a long time. You can see last known position was on the 10 line. Now it's very, very possible that he got behind us. And it's one reason to always be looking at the minimap. Haven't seen a ship as deadly as the Shima in a while. Where were they last? And then you try and extrapolate from there where they might be now. And here comes Alaska, as expected. Musashi... Yeah, Musashi is beginning to move forward at this point. I'm going to try really hard to secure this cap. Just get right to the edge of the cap, and Musashi finishes off our Lenin. That's just a perfect example of why, if you are playing this game and you see a ship that is just about dead, do everything you can to finish it. Because, and I managed to just get the cap, you can see I'm already accelerating out. If you leave a ship alive, they can, you know, some games as you take damage, your offensive abilities degrade. This game is not like that. Unless they've got a gun that's been destroyed, they are every bit as powerful and deadly as they were when they had full hit points. So always, always, always try to finish off the enemy. There's a perfect Alaska-sized gap in my torpedoes there. He just navigates right through, but the torpedoes that might hit him are looking pretty good for Musashi at this point. Dual purpose torpedoes, and even though I didn't get the one I really wanted to get, I did land a couple on Musashi and managed to put him under. Since Alaska is not focused this way, I've been shooting him. Try and get behind the island, but obviously I'm taking fire now from the other side. Amalfi's there. I have to smoke up. I can't take too many of those SAP rounds. Got to break line of sight, at least make it a little harder for him to hit me, even though I know he's going to probably blind fire from smoke. I expect he will probably be pushing me, so I've got to move this way. I can see now that the Shima is, in fact, south of my position, and he was able to finish
Smoke
off our
screen
Salem.
set.
And now I'm radared, so I'm going to have to get behind this island to avoid shots from the Amalfi, and just do what I can with my guns here. Alaska's kind of caught in the middle. He's got a Gearing on one side, me on the other. And I'm feeling pretty good about Gearing at that range. But you really never know the skill level of someone you're playing with on your team. And in fact, even though he was a basically range 1-2, our Gearing missed with every torpedo. And it looks like he's going for the ram, but he doesn't get it.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Pretty potato-y play. I'm going to throw on some torps. Just hopefully he might, stay moving that direction. He's got a fairly long reload on Alaska. It's not terrible, but I'm going to hope to get behind this island before he can get off another shot, and before Amalfi can smack me around. And now I have a decision to make. Do I push in and engage this Gearing? I'm taking fire from Gearing, I'm taking fire from Amalfi, and I've got Shimakaze south. Now I have an island right here, so what I decide to do is quiet my guns, play with the throttle to try to avoid getting hit, and go undetected. I'm spotted again. That means only one thing, ladies and gentlemen. That means Shima has pushed up. There are the Gearing torps. Get off a couple shots on him, and now I'm going to turn guns on Shima, who is really beat up. A couple of volleys and he should be gone.
Smoke generator started.
See, I'm already smoking. I want to make sure that Amalfi can't get shots on me. I did turn north to try and get out of line of sight.
Problem solved, sir.
And Gearing's shells are very much like the shells on this ship. Probably 10 seconds or so to get to me, making it very hard to do much damage. I'm really banged up, but we have 953 points. And now it's just a question of surviving. Now, according to the timer, which you can see top of the screen, there's a green square with 1 minute 3 seconds and a red square with 7:51. That gives you some idea of, if everything else stays the same, how long it'll be till one team or the other wins. And I think this is pretty well in the bag. Amalfi's probably going to go down here. So it was a very fun game, a real adrenaline rush, and that's why I wanted to bring it to you. It's a great example of why you always keep your head in the game, always keep an eye on what's going on. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.